I want to recommend 2 books that you will read. They are not exactly church books, but listen, I will tell you why. They are books that will help you. Let me just tell you the books. The first book is The Rise and Triumph of the Modern Self. The Rise and Triumph of the Modern Self is going to explain a lot that is happening in this day and age. It is by Carl Trueman. Listen, I want every single member of Celebration Church and everyone listening to me, anyone that considers me, a spiritual leader, to read that book. That's free marketing for them. It's okay. It's okay. By the way, I hear Uber is cashing out because we're having a program. It's okay. And then the other book is Atomic Habits. By James Clear. The reason I'm saying this is that sometimes overcoming habits just require clarity. Clarity of thought. Understand what you are dealing with. For instance, I said something yesterday. If you went 20 days without doing the habit that you hitherto used to do every day, that's progress. But someone who doesn't understand that will be defeated and start crying and say, oh, I did it again, and will just relapse in discouragement. So, just understanding habits and progress will help you. So much I want to say. You know what? I have some notes that I want to share with you. Oh my God, because I think it's very much in line with what we're talking about. So here are my notes from Rise and Triumph of Modern Self. In chapter 1, we started with a very interesting concept. Right from the title itself, The Rise and Triumph of the Modern Self. He's telling you that the philosophy of self is changing. And just in case you don't know, that's engineered. That's engineered. And the first thing he mentioned in chapter 1 is how that people moved from seeking meaning from objective reality or nature to creating reality themselves. I'm not trying to be controversial, but you need to watch one interview where brilliant minds in biology and science could not answer a simple question: what is a woman? It's a post-truth era. From objective reality. We can't, and mind you, that is exactly what the devil was trying to get Eve to do. Be as gods. Create your own definitions. Do as you will. Define it based on how you feel. And then he also mentioned how that a society that was supposed to preserve this definition has now been seen as an obstruction to the realization of your authentic self. He also believes that technology has a part to play in this. Because with technology, you can create your own reality. And maybe that did something to people's minds. And they moved their understanding of things that are objective and they started considering them subjective. Well, he had that to say. And then the next thing he talked about, especially in chapter 3 and chapter 4, was something he called the rise of romanticism. And this is what he said. He said poets and writers of novels, just cast off virtuous restraints and began to attack the church and, became obsessed with very vulgar stories on sex and romance and all of that. And those things became very viral. And there was no pushback against that. No pushback. So the revolution started with art. Oh, it's just art. It's just art. You are nursing your flesh. It's just art. You are reading things that will put you in a bad state, where you want things you shouldn't want. Let me tell you something. Habits are developed and they are dependent on triggers. You have an anger problem, you have gun in your hand, in your house, but there's no problem. That's what you are doing with habits. Please, are you listening to me? So there's that. And then, after art did their own, science came. Charles Darwin, Friedrich Nietzsche, Karl Marx, fighting against religion. Friedrich Nietzsche came with the theory that God is dead. His last work was called Antichrist. He attacks Christianity and calls it a product of the weak and the oppressed. Karl Marx believed that religion was the opium of the masses. He publicized that human nature is not a stable doctrine, but rather something that is constantly changing due to our relationship with technology. I wish I could go deeper into all of this, but this went deeper and unchallenged. All right? Because for many reasons. For some reason, sometimes the church, we just stay in our buildings with stained glasses and we don't look outside to listen to the questions of people and answer them objectively. That must change. Amen, somebody? Amen. Many times there's an elephant in the room. But let's come back with the text I started with yesterday. Galatians chapter 5. Galatians chapter 5. So, I said all of that to say this. You must renew your mind. And I believe that we're inching towards the generation of Noah all over again, where the truth is no longer popular. And if you are going to live for God, you will have to embrace His law for yourself. There won't be anybody in your society to hold you accountable. If Noah sinned, nobody will think it anything because it was the norm. We're inching towards that again. Please, are you listening to me? Mm-hmm.